as you guys know, viewbotting is having a really big issue, specifically with Twitch right now. But understand, it's not just Twitch, it's YouTube, it's TikTok, it's all of the platforms, right? So if you know this, well, now we need to understand the money behind it. Understanding that brands, sponsorships actually would probably pay for the view bots on behalf of the large content creators. But let's talk about small content creators because if you guys don't know, right? I'm less than 2,000 subscribers. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys are watching this on. If you're on the replay squad, comment down below. But if you guys don't know, the overall aspect of a view bot is to simply inflate your numbers, right? That's essentially what it is. And you can purchase these views, it doesn't matter where. But if you're a small content creator, you're incentivized to viewbot, and it's sad. I don't viewbot just because there's no reason on wasting money, because that's essentially what it is. You're trying to overinflate. You're faking it till you make it. That whole concept is it lives out through specifically viewbotting, right? So let's talk about the scandal and how it exposes the industry to actually face it. Where if you guys don't know, we sat down with that video of Devin Nash talking to the Kick CEO and how viewbotting is a concern for most of these platforms. If you don't know, YouTube specifically is doing the validation IDs for content creators under 18, specifically for the US market. But this doesn't limit them just for that. They could do this anywhere. And what this is probably or likely going to do is gatekeep or verify those verified authorized users. So now you might see a stream where it says 100,000 streams or viewers, but 10,000 verified viewers. Now, what does that mean? It just means that we can confirm that these are people. And how are they going to do that? Well, let's get into it.
I remember a day when being a Twitch streamer was the forefront of the next new thing in the content space. From the live MLG games and live competitive matches to the years of the Fortnite rise and the Drake collaboration with Ninja. Like, dude, the entire internet was talking about that shit. All the way to these epic events that Twitch would throw every year, a thing called TwitchCon, where they would announce their newest innovation. But not everything is always what it seems. Who would have known that Twitch would secretly be the front for one of the biggest scams in the online world, and how big the impact of their actions could really have been? Today, we dive into the free ride that Twitch has had for years and how its fuel for fake metrics might just cause the next adpocalypse. Part 1. What is viewbotting? Viewbotting is when someone uses automated programs or paid services to artificially inflate the number of viewers, followers, or engagement on a live stream or video. Botting metrics has literally been on every corner of the internet and has been around since the dawn of the internet. But on Twitch, this usually looks like somebody going from 100 viewers to 500, but chat not really changing or not even communicating. At other sites like YouTube or TikTok, it might be inflated view counts to make content appear more popular than what it really is. The goal from this is to look more popular and show social media growth. In an attempt to climb the social media algorithms and front pages, and the ability to intimidate your competitors and look bigger than what you are, this will also result in better ad, sponsor, and partnership deals. Basically baking it until you make it, which is way more common than what people actually realize. This is a recipe we've seen for years, not even just in the social media internet era, but we've seen this all the way into the corners of Hollywood, news, media, and even to the level of the very government you vote for. So how does viewbotting work? There are a few methods, but some are more advanced than others.
Now let's pause right there, right? Because what he's saying is essentially how going forward with viewbotting, it's not limited just to one platform. It's going to be affected across how we consume content. Because if you guys aren't tracking, the overall aspect of viewbotting is to aid viewership. It's to make something bigger than it actually is. So do you think that's going to help a content creator, or do you think it's going to hurt someone, right? Like, there's two aspects to it. The first is going to be, okay, well, how helpful is this to our actual brand? Is it going to be, you got people down watching you, or is it just only going to hurt you? And I mean, depending on who you are, what stage you are as a content creator, you might want to dance around just the talking point. And the more that we learn about this, the better.
which makes it difficult. You have your simple traffic bots, which are scripts and apps that can send thousands of fake connections to a stream. These often come from the same IP or region of the world, which is more easily trackable. These are the cheaper bots that sites will be able to combat with faster. Then you have distributed botnets. These more sophisticated services use hacked devices, proxies, or rented servers across the world. Each viewer looks like a unique person with a unique IP, device, signature, and watch pattern. With this process, you can even simulate a chat, which makes it look more realistic. Then you have commercial services. These are whole websites where they openly sell viewer packages. Packages as cheap as $10 for 1,000 viewers on Twitch. Some of these models even offer subscription services, which allow you to just keep your metrics inflated. You literally don't have to do anything. Then you have engagement farms. These are real people paid to open streams, leave streams running, and mass comment. These are one of the hardest to detect because these essentially aren't bots. They appear to be.
I'm not gonna lie with you guys. I didn't know. I mean, it makes sense when you start talking about the actual topic or the concern, right? There are going to be people that get paid to do this, right? And how valuable is that audience, right? Yes, it might be an organic viewer, right? Someone might be on the other side of that screen, but are they going to help the retention? And so, for example, on YouTube, if you pay for 1 million views on a certain video, YouTube might think that that video is good and they might continue serving that audience. But what if that audience isn't true? Like the true intention is never to watch the content. It's simply just to get paid on one end and throw you aside. So your retention is just going to completely dip. So you could be completely wasting your money when it comes to something like this, right? But just showing you the levels of from scripts, basic scripts, all the way to paid engagement farms, right? That's a massive hard divide. So you have platforms trying to combat this, and it's only going to hurt the average consumer. You're going to have to verify your ID. You're going to have to do all of these checks and balances. You might have to have, I know Twitch already has the implementation of like, you have to have a verified phone number. It's only going to get levels and layers of security harder.
Individual users from different parts of the world with different IPs actually interacting with your chat. Now, why is botting so hard to combat? Platforms do try to stop it, but there are a few reasons why viewbotting keeps slipping through. The obvious reason is because a lot of it does look so real. At scale, platforms rely on patterns, IP clusters, device IDs, watch time. Advanced bots randomize behavior to mimic humans, clicking around, chatting, even muting and unmuting audio. It's crucial to understand in 2025, especially with AI, bots are not just this one-trick pony that you can easily bypass. Every time a platform or website tries to put one roadblock up to one scenario, another road opens. And in that, there's a huge collateral damage risk. If Twitch or YouTube bans too aggressively, they risk false positives, which is banning legit viewers or streamers. For example, there are streamers that get botted by haters to frame them, and they get punished for it. It's also tough because there's huge advantages to cheat: sponsorship money, ad deals, and algorithms.
Yeah, that was one aspect of like an unfortunate reality of content creators who specifically, well, what's the downside of botting? Well, what if someone really doesn't like you and they want to hurt you, right? And they have money that can afford to do so. Well, they can overinflate you, and they can view bot you with an overall negative audience, meaning let's just say they pay for a third world botting service to view your content, and now your content's RPM, CPM is heavily skewed and hurt. So there's a complete negative when it comes to that. So, I mean, it's an unfortunate aspect, but yes, sponsors, I mean, you're seeing right here on the screen, sponsorship money, the more videos or the more views you get, it's, you know, it's a shiny number goes up, right?
Algorithm placement are tied to numbers. Even brands sometimes knowingly buy inflated engagement through agencies, which again, this is nothing new. For decades, brands have been.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're even seeing this now with, I mean, just move it to music. I think we're seeing content creators, I mean, not even content creators, you're seeing artists. I mean, Drake is like suing, what is it, Universal Music Group, because he's saying that Kendrick Lamar got pushed, you know, over him. But I mean, is that not a free aspect of like, hey, it's very well known in the industry of just entertainment, period, that, you know, people pay for clicks, people pay for spins, people pay per views. It's no different. Social media is no different, right? Just because we're on a level of content creation of live viewership, it doesn't mean that there are companies out there who aren't against it.
Paying for extra services to get their stuff in front of other people. Even if it doesn't mean that it's a genuine organic interaction, having more money to leverage to use sites to actually push their stuff in front of people, it gets eyes everywhere across all their products. Then you have a scale problem. Millions of streamers and videos go live every day. Policing every metric in real time is nearly impossible. This is where the cat and mouse game comes in. As soon as Twitch, YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, again, as soon as anybody patches one method, another method appears. In short, viewbotting is fake metrics to get.
All right, so I'm gonna take a quick break. Like, if you guys didn't know, I'm trying to live stream right now or multi-stream on all different platforms. I'm trying to set up a Kick. I'm trying to set up a YouTube. I'm trying to set up a Twitch. So forgive me on the back end. I'm literally, I see you on the Twitch, Teresa. But it's one of those aspects, you know, it's the fumblings of a small content creator.
Cloud. How it works is bots, proxies, and farms try to mimic real viewers. Why it's so hard to combat is you can't always even tell what is real and what is fake, and it's hard to say where it's coming from. Now, a lot of the recent Twitch drama has sparked up the conversation and controversy around viewbots. In 2025, the conversation about Twitch's viewbotting has gotten so loud that they can't ignore it any longer. Outside of creators like Ithalian, who have been calling out their viewbots for years, and the problems it would cause. I mean, you've even had large streamers like Trainwreck's TV being more vocal on it, and then having individuals like Devin Nash, who is somebody who has managed millions of dollars of ad spend in the streaming space, with people like him sharing his personal data, suggesting that 40% of the site could be botted. It's obviously sparked a lot of conversation. But I think the real blow was that clip of Ray J this year. A clip of Ray J went viral recently where he openly admitted to viewbotting, like blatantly on stream, saying that he and many others do it. The only other thing he could have done to get banned was literally showed him doing it. But the clip was him explaining in detail how much he scams in advertising with inflated metrics. This stirred up a lot of controversy as Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, has openly welcomed Ray J to the platform and even befriended him. It's not a good look when the CEO of one of the largest accused botting sites in the world openly has a relationship with one of the top proven viewbotters on the platform. Part 2, bots beyond the individual streamer. Now, the easiest and most common thing that a lot of people ask is like, well, hey, if somebody's viewbotting, why not just do something with them, like punish them for that? That's where all this gets so messy. There are in fact hundreds, maybe even thousands of streamers that are being botted, and they have no idea. From viewers that over glorify supporting their favorite creators by giving them extra views, to the hate watchers that just want to make somebody look bad. The cheap access to being able to bot somebody in the live stream space gives the ability for so many people to do it. But that's not even where it gets really ugly. Where it gets evil is when the agencies and orgs get involved.
Now that's one aspect, right? What if a content creator simply just doesn't know that they're viewbotting or getting viewbot? Right? What if someone is simply just going about their average day, thinking that they have, I mean, I don't know what on the scale of like the largest Twitch streamer, YouTuber, Asmongold, right? Let's talk about Asmongold. I truly don't know what the difference is of having like 50,000 live concurrent viewers to like 40,000, right? That's 10,000 live viewers. But like when we're talking about on scale, when you're already seeing a chat go by so fast, does it really matter? Like, I mean, what if they just truly don't know? What if the numbers make sense? I can't read the chat, so I assume there's a lot of people. And, you know, it's just one of those things.
You see, if a streamer is getting even a little bit of success or rise across socials, the second an agency or an org gets involved, it gives them huge leverage to benefit off of the creator. All agencies and orgs will typically bring brand deals and opportunities to creators, and they get a cut of it. For years, creators have been signing with agencies and mysteriously going from a few hundred congruent viewers to thousands. This process allows a talent agency and an org that is managing a streamer to sell higher rates for higher views, thus not just putting more money in the pockets of the streamer, but also putting more money into their pockets, with them being able to make thousands of extra dollars an hour during ad campaigns. I myself have heard of so many stories during the pandemic blow up of TikTok and inflation of Twitch. A lot of these overnight streamer success stories were heavily influenced after they signed with an agency. There's even a recent clip of the streamer Ronaldo exposing that a manager at one point told him they will viewbot him on Twitch and Kick, so that way they can get a big stake deal. And they'll do this all if the manager can take a bigger cut. Not every creator is made aware of the scam, however. There are countless creators that are involved with agencies and orgs that have no idea their metrics are being inflated. Now, it's good to point out this isn't just a Twitch problem. Viewbotting plagues platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, eroding marketer trust. We even seen a lawsuit at one point in time with Facebook getting a huge backlash for inflated numbers. This goes so deep to where even governments have gotten involved. Governments have been caught from different parts of the world using bot farms to encourage a disruption on certain social media sites, causing conflict between people in different regions on sites like X and Facebook, for example, that would have a huge political push. You see, botting is in every corner of the internet. Where this is a big problem for Twitch, however, unlike some of these platforms, Twitch operates at a loss. Even though Twitch has been around for so long, it's still trying to prove itself. The reality is, Twitch stopped innovating years ago. The CEO himself said that they are years behind on the mobile.
I think Twitch has fumbled the bag. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I could find live streaming. Is it like breakdown 2025? Hold on, I'm on my laptop. This is hard. Hold on. Let's get through it. Let's find it. There was a breakdown essentially of live streaming on where the distribution goes, right? Outside of gaming. And Twitch has it for gaming. Well, when it comes to everything else, YouTube and TikTok dominate this space. So like right now you're seeing this specifically for gaming, but outside of gaming, YouTube is just, or is just like taking over.
Mobile app technology. There's nothing really special about Twitch outside of the core community that it has. So a site like Twitch is desperately reliant on the advertisers and the relationships that they keep between the advertisers. Because at the end of the day, they eventually have to make money. And that's where all this gets so messy. Part 3, implications and adpocalypse risk. It's obvious that the state of viewbotting as a whole doesn't help. It ruins trust and discoverability, not even just at the level at the individual streamer, but the waves of the impact it has will be felt across the entire industry. Viewbotting not only sidelines legitimate streamers by gaming discoverability rankings and undermining trust amongst creators, it makes the entire streaming industry look less legitimate from a major level. You take Twitch, for example. Twitch is supposed to be the place to stream. It's built its entire representation of being the most innovative streaming service in the world. And at a certain point, they were right. Until Amazon bought out Twitch to sell the product of Twitch to the entire internet through AWS, Twitch had actually developed one of the best pieces of tech in our lifetime, being able to stream high quality live video footage around the world at a fraction of the cost. But since then, Twitch hasn't really done anything. They've just been riding out the previous success and the sale of the site overall as the site has gained more.
I think the whole purpose of Twitch is just Twitch is on a ticking time. It's a ticking time bomb. The thing is with YouTube specifically, Google at least cares about YouTube, or it seems like it's at least it understands, or it at least acknowledges YouTube. But for Amazon, like, it doesn't care about Twitch at all. It's wild.
And more inflated metrics. Then in an attempt to become profitable, for the last few years, they've forced ads down the viewers' throats, which has resulted in pushing away legitimate viewership while the inflation has climbed. And they were every bit aware of this. It is Twitch's arrogance why the entire streaming industry is about to see a huge change. You see, Twitch runs the risk of the next adpocalypse as brands pull budgets from inflated platforms to shift to safer environments. Digital advertising is growing globally, but the Viewbot fraud jeopardizes that growth. And as of recently, Twitch has made an effort to remove some of those bots from the site. In the last week alone, we've seen a huge drop in Twitch viewership, which further backs up creators like Trainwrecks, Gathalion, and
Yeah, it was really weird to see that like Twitch decided to do it like on an overnight basis, right? Instead of like, hey, starting this quarter, we're going to be cutting out all of these aspects, because it didn't answer where those views were coming from, right? It didn't give an answer to how it's counting views.
Nash, who've been calling this out all along. It turns out a large portion of Twitch has been botted, far more than what people actually thought. As brands see this publicly, they'll start to ask why they should pay the same rates they were paying before for less. That's even if they want to involve themselves into Twitch at all. It's already been said over the last couple of years, Twitch has lost hundreds of millions in ads due to the negative return on ad spend that brands have experienced through inflation.
On that video that we talked about earlier, again with Devin Nash specifically talking to Kick CEO Eddie, he said how useless it is for brands to even spend money on Twitch.
Metrics as sites like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram continue to dominate and brands continue to see a real return from their advertisements on those sites, this will only result in more of them turning away from the streaming space, specifically Twitch, putting more of their money and their focus into sites that have proven to work and have less drama. As other sites see more success, not only in growth, but also with the advertisers, and more creators grow over there, the ones who haven't really moved get left behind. Part 4, how Twitch is responding. Twitch is rolling out new detection and enforcement mechanics to identify bot traffic. It's not currently predictable to see how far Twitch is really willing to go to clean up the site, but this is going to be a tough balancing act for them. As Twitch pushes back more, we go back to the earlier points where the people that make these bots are just going to find more ways around them. Bot providers will.
Now, again, if Twitch doesn't disclose that like they're going to be only counting in like authorized or verified viewers, then I think they actually have a chance. Like they might have a chance if they're going to only target like or only count verified viewers.
Will change. The people that use the services will change up to different services. Until Twitch actually shows people that they can be held accountable for their actions, agencies, orgs, brands, and shady creators will just be influenced to learn a workaround. Again, in general, detecting the bots is easier than pointing the finger. So now Twitch is backed into this corner where they have to avoid false positives, but also earn the trust back amongst the community and advertisers. Plus, they have to continue to fight back against any new ways and new bots that will come as a result from the pushback. Part 5. Is it too late for Twitch? From solo streamers to big agencies, viewbotting has become integrated into the streaming economy, eroding trust, poisoning sponsorships, and threatening an ad apocalypse. One to the likes that the streaming industry has never seen before, taking millions of potential dollars out of the creators' pockets to fuel the giants who robbed brands blind. But with Twitch being 17 years in, still going through this, and not being profitable, is it too late for them? Many Twitch streamers can speculate and use competitors like Kick, for example, as a crutch to also point out that viewbots exist on other platforms. We can go back to the original points earlier where we say that botting is a problem on every corner of the internet and has been involved in the mainstream media industry for literally decades. But platforms like Kick have only been around for 2.5 years and have billions of dollars of their own funding under a crypto empire. Like it or not, they don't have somebody to answer to. Sites like Kick don't currently run ads and haven't turned away a lot of brands.
I think Kick is definitely going to have to move away from the whole aspect of not taking ad money. And I mean, it was all fun and games initially, right? It could have been a purposeful adventure for the CEO. He's a billionaire and he can afford it. But there's going to be a level. It's going to quickly happen because those AWS bills, I'd imagine, are massive, where this needs to be profitable, or at least on one aspect, the expenses minimized. Now, I think XQC, which is one of the largest content creators, like he just got like streamer of the
Massive day for-
century, right? But he talked about how I guess he was just name dropping some
The
viewbotters.
parasocials. XQC just dropped a bombshell on the streaming community, and it is not looking good for the unemployed. But what did he say? Around a month ago, Twitch would announce new changes to the platform in an attempt to combat the major viewbotting issue. Twitch is cracking down on fake views, with major changes rolling out over the next few weeks. And many of these changes would go live within the past couple days. Now, XQC has been one of the most vocal people about this situation, constantly calling out people who he believes are viewbotting, with very good evidence and proof about it. Twitch has cracked down on bots in the last 2 to 3 days, and viewbotters and victims of viewbotting have been exposed. Streamers that are part of groups and orgs are seemingly being botted much more heavily. I don't want to start witch hunts, but the data is interesting. Go see for yourself. Showing a picture of a guy who was averaging tens of thousands of viewers, sometimes nearly 30,000.
That is the thing. I'd imagine a lot of the agencies follow the same ad like breakdown. So like if one person's managing all of them, they would just be paying for average viewers across the board, right? Like they would be paying for view bots across the board. Meaning if I'm signed under, I don't know, some large streaming group, that they're just going to add or view bot all of the creators that they're signed under them.
Going all the way down to under 10K after these changes were implemented. Now, despite not stating it specifically, the person that...
It's wild because like if you're over like, I think it's like 100 viewers, you're just like part of top 10%. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's wild that someone like would see 10,000 live people watching them and just be upset or feel sad.
XQC was talking about here was Your Rage, an extremely popular and successful streamer. Now, do I think Your Rage was actually viewbotting? Just the number evidence points to the fact that he was, but Stable Ronaldo would disprove that.
These are days where he's doing content. Now stay with me, chat. Stay with me. This is my last Caretaker. Wow, that's a banger stream. He has a series that he's doing where he does Caretaker Day 2. Okay, you know what? People already saw the hype of the first one, but he's still gonna have a good amount of viewership because people still want to see it. 30,000 viewers, that's amazing. I can't even believe that's a joke. Guys Night, this is amazing. Yugi and Arky Day 4, right? I'm old. His birthday, 20,000 viewers, 0.8 hours. This isn't even a full stream. So of course, it's not going to be crazy difference. You're not going to see followage. It's a short stream. 24,000 viewers. I've had enough. Notice something. YRG only stream. Keep it low key. Was he age restricted here? Yes or no? And he was lagging. People are so quick to jump the gun. So quick to jump the gun. It's actually crazy. Sponsored stream. Age restricted. Yes, this guy's viewbotting, guys. No, it's like I can't even believe, like, bro, he's I don't get it, man.
Now, after seeing this clip, both sides are pretty understandable, but let's continue. I've been thinking why orgs would bot heavily. Then the answer seemed almost obvious. Talent agencies receive a % from ad streams their talent does. By inflating their streamers, they can sell massive ad packages in bulk and take in much higher sums. To put it simply,
And that's going to be the aspect, right? Because a lot of these content creators have large branding deals. Those brands, those companies have marketing teams. Those marketing teams want results. What's the quickest and most direct way to get those? Because at the end of the day, it's just a person working in some job. They're a project manager or marketing for, let's just say Nike. Nike put in a 1% marketing deal with insert streamer here. They decided to, okay, well now I need to hit this number because last quarter I hit that number. I'm not going to hit that number. Okay, what am I going to do? Viewbot.
fraud. This definitely makes a lot of sense. We see streamers who have much lower view counts have way more active chats, like XQC and Kai Cenat. You'd think that with Kai having nearly 3 times more viewers than XQC, his chat would be moving 3 times fast. However, that is not the case at all. Now, does this mean that Kai Cenat's botting his own stream? Not necessarily. We also have to keep in mind that a large percentage of Kai's chat doesn't even chat at all, or they might have the stream on TVs or something like that, or maybe Kai's getting botted by an agency or something. I mean, we don't really know. This doesn't seem like a problem for most people, but it's a silent killer.
That it's so sad because like once you go up, you can't go back down. If you have 10,000 live streaming, live concurrent viewers at all times, going from 10,000 to 1,000 is it's going from first class to economy, right? In the eyes of most. But it's hard to fall back on not understanding that most people don't even travel. Like it's one of those aspects of like it's always a comparison of like who has the best,
It kills the industry as a whole. It lowers discoverability for smaller streamers significantly and cuts down their income if they ever make it at all. I did some digging and shared some findings with others and found some egregious instances of streamers going from nearly 100 viewers daily to 5,000 overnight. I was speechless when I noticed that they've been doing it for years. The worst part, a lot of recent streams ended being sponsored. Awful. I mean, that is just so fucked up. They're basically just stealing money from these businesses. Imagine putting a large sum of money into a streamer to do a big sponsored stream, thinking that they're averaging 5,000 viewers, but instead they only have 100 real people in the chat. The rest are inflated fake.
And I think over time that's going to only hurt all of the content creators, specifically because the brand's going to quickly understand, like, okay, we put in $10,000 into you last time and we didn't receive anything. And I mean, yeah, we have maybe like one video or two videos to take away from it, but at some point it's going to be complete diminishing returns to the point where they're not going to work with the brands. They're not going to work with the brand. I'm using the word brands as in the personal content creator, because that's what they are. They're personal brands.
Bots. Here's an absolutely abysmal example of this. The fact that this can go on for years without the platform taking action is just sad, really. If Twitch doesn't care, then why should anyone? Not only did Bro's viewers jump significantly overnight, but each stream they literally gained 0 followers. How are you going to essentially be an overnight success? Going from averaging around 100 viewers to over 5,000.
Yeah, that's a clear fake, not an inorganic jump.
And not gain any new followers. It doesn't make any sense. Even though we don't know who this guy is, and there's probably a reason for that, they're probably not going to be on the platform for much longer anyways. This post or thread will go nowhere. No one will care either, but if I didn't post about it, I'd be mad at myself that I didn't at least try to raise some form of awareness about this before it's too late. I'm going to bed. In a few days, people will go back to calling me a schizo over this. I think the biggest misconception in the entire streaming industry is the fact that Twitch has no bots on their platform. I mean, over the past few months, it's become more apparent.
I think, what was it? It was estimated that Twitch has around 50% of its entire viewer base as bots, which is a wild statement.
That is the case. But I feel like people mainly look at botted platforms as like Kick, which obviously everyone knows there's bots all over Kick, but Twitch is just as bad. I mean, there's so many streamers on a daily basis that get botted, whether that be followers or viewers or anything, and most of the time they can't do anything about it. And a lot of the time, bigger streamers are also inflating their numbers hella. Like we saw, this guy who literally botted over 5,000 viewers every stream. I mean, that's diabolical numbers.
I'll check Lacey. Let me click on streams, right? Bing. Jesus. Wait, so the... Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm catching a pattern.
XQC.
Hold on. I was saying the tweets could be schizo, but could also be true. And I gotta say, okay, now we have two people that the last 2/3 days are bad. So maybe the bot stuff from Twitch actually end up being more true like now, unless we have more people. Rage. Jesus Christ. Fuck.
I mean, if you guys don't know, essentially what he's doing is he's doing a cross comparison of followers, and this main column right here is how many live viewers they had.
Okay.
Now, XQC did seem pretty harsh about this. I mean, as Stable Ronaldo mentioned earlier, there's also a lot of reasons why your Rage's numbers would be much lower than they were prior, as well as a lot of other streamers that are also noticing downward trends of viewership. Not to mention that it's almost impossible for every streamer nowadays to have no fake viewers. Like, sometimes the streamers or agencies aren't even doing it themselves. So it makes sense that in a general sense, every streamer would notice at least a little bit of a downward trend with their viewership.
Lacey right here, 14,000, 13,000, 35,000, 21,000, 46,000, 23,000, 30,000, 27,000, 33,000. So if you're going from like, I mean, this is a, and again, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think any of these large content creators are calling anyone out as per se, but they're specifically calling it out, right? Like, they're talking about it, but they're not talking about it.
Twitch that specifically combat botting. I want to talk about what I feel regarding the growing usage of viewbotting on Twitch and its relation to how we as viewers consume content. Let's be real, this new era of viewbotting is only ushering us into...
Now, I mean, the thing is, there's going to be a turning point when it comes to content creation as a whole. And a lot of these people are going to hurt the up-and-comer smaller content creators. But I think XQC called out DDG, and DDG, I guess, responded.
I do not care enough to bot no goddamn views. You think if I'm spending all this money, bro, you think I'm finna motherfucking pay for some goddamn...
Guys, I'm confused, chat. Guys, did you guys get the gist, chat? That
Yo, Mr. Lord Juice,
that
can you
I was
shut your
doing
bitch
this,
ass up
like...
and get on some RP or play?
Chat, when somebody was saying that, you guys think that I was actually
Yo, it's wild. I can't make out a word he's saying.
trying to... Dude, that was such a, like, whatever, like, meme, like...
I don't care that much. Nigga, I do not care that much. For if a nigga bot, bro, if a nigga's botting his views,
Jesus, then.
nigga, give it up.
All right, so I mean, the overall industry is not going away, right? The overall concept of viewbotting is not going away. These content creators are going to essentially
to a more
keep doing it, right? Let's go full screen. Let's see if we got. Listen, you guys let me know. Is viewbotting going away? Is it going to only hurt the smaller content creators? That's what it's going to do. It's only going to hurt the smaller content creators. And I don't really think that most of the smaller content creators are prepared for this kind of conversations, but understand that you can't just pay your way. You can't, this isn't an easy path, right? And, you know, just seeing the larger content creators just argue back and forth about it, it's pretty funny. But you guys let me know. Follow, subscribe, comment, do all of that. I'm out. Peace.